made it be my way.
Okay. What's up, Blerdsters? This is your host, Shalon, and this is your co-host,
K1.
And we are back with another episode of Blerdsters. Now, I know you guys are excited about this one because we are covering Across the Spider-Verse. I'm excited. There's a lot to unravel here. A lot. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. I would give the movie an 8 out of 10. Overall, I thought it was pretty solid. I loved all the different Spider-Man, the universes. I loved the music. The voice acting was on point as always. The only thing that I would say that kind of threw me off was the first half of the movie. It's a bit slow for me, but overall, it was solid.
Right. I mean, I could definitely say the same. Like it was slow, but it was fast at the same time. If that makes sense or whatever, because it's like boom, you already seen the other one, you've seen the first one or whatever. We're just gonna throw all this stuff at you and catch up with it until we get to the meat of it or whatever. So the beginning part they kind of dived into Gwen's story a little bit more or whatever have you, and it was cool. The only part that kind of threw me off was with her dad or whatever. Like, this nigga was really about ready to shoot her. I was like, hey, bro, like, the badge is like... Right. Like, you willing to shoot your own daughter for killing her friend?
Yeah.
Not even your child, her friend.
Her friend, yeah.
I'm like, you treat him like he was your son, too. So I was so confused.
That threw me off, too. I was like... Well, and then the fact that got me is when she was like walking towards this nigga's like, stay back. I'm like, yo, is it that deep? Just like chill out and listen to her.
The badge is real.
The badge is real. This nigga said, listen, police force comes first. Yeah, that was crazy. The thing that got me about that personally was the fact that to me, because prior to this, we didn't really get, this is the first time we get like a backstory on Gwen and her father. The thing that really got me about the whole thing is, even with, because in the first one, I was trying to keep up, because I'm like, okay, in the first one, they kind of showed what happened to Peter, but I read up on it, the way they kind of did it was they, I guess, explained it deeper, because in the first one, it seemed like we got like a different character model with Peter. Seemed older, more like the Peter B. Parker dude. Mm-hmm. And so in this one, I was like following. I'm like, well, did they change it? But I guess in the first one, they were saying if you look closely, you'll see the lizard shadow of Peter, and then the next scene is her like crying over him. So in this one, I was like, it's interesting that they chose to go that route with that whole thing with him essentially being the lizard and everything like that. So that was interesting.
Right. I mean, it was interesting, but it definitely made sense. It's funny how they was able to split that out because we know that Peter Parker is incredibly smart.
Yeah. So,
he damn near created the lizard at the time when he was still Spider-Man or whatever. He did, helped him with the formulas and stuff like that and helped create it or whatever. So, for him to be the one like, oh no, now I'm the lizard or whatever, I'm using this so I can be like you and be stronger or whatever. I was like, yo, that was... God, I said, you want to go through all that just to be as strong as your friend? Because he always knew she was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And she didn't know that he knew, but he always knew.
It was wild. I like that little twist they did there because I would have never thought to go that route with him being the lizard and then seeing her. I mean, low key, we can say like she did kill her friend. She did kill him, but to her, I don't know the word I'm looking for.
To her credit.
Yeah, to her credit, she didn't know, but I mean, she did kill her friend. Yeah. But that was wild, and to me personally, that's crazy that she has to live with that guilt. Like, I don't even see how she does it. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, I think in her situation, she just don't really feel like she can love anyone because she feel like anybody that she loves is gonna get killed or whatever have you, or something terrible happen. So you know, it was Peter. Then you know, she possibly got Miles in trouble or whatnot, and you know, so on and so forth. And then even with her dad, you know, that whole issue with her dad. So she just kind of felt like, yeah, I'm not to be touched. Yeah. Like I'm bad for anybody.
Yeah, and even when she was talking to Miles at one point in the movie, she was just like, every Gwen falls for Spider-Man, but something always bad happened. I'm wondering, and I'm pretty sure they probably won't do this because, you know, like the feminist and all that, you know, they're, you know, the killer off. You know, I don't think they would do it to piss people off, but I was even thinking, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. You know, like, killed, like, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't feel like they would, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I do feel like it's gonna be some type of canon moment where it's gonna be, it's gonna boil down to him or her at some point. That's what I think. Okay. I think at some point it'll boil down to him or her because he doesn't. Well, we get a little far, but you know, at a certain point in the movie, he's not trusting anybody. You know, Miles is like, okay, you ain't shit. Right. I try to have intervention and tell me that you know, I'm an anomaly and all this shit.
Which was wild.
Yeah. When they finally got to it. But, you know, when they throw you in the beginning of it, you know, you see Miles and he's grown up, he's gotten taller and things of that nature, whatever. And he's, you know, being Spider-Man of his, you know, town or whatever have you. Everybody knows him, everybody expects this and that from him and everything like that. So, like, even when he met his, I guess you can call him his nemesis, when he met Spot or whatever, it was in a bodega or whatnot. Yeah. So, you know, people know who he is. And like, hey, if you beat his ass, I give you a burrito. Yeah. And he's like, all right, bet. I beat his ass. Right. So, yeah, that whole beginning part of it was just a trip because the Spot was made to look like insignificant, like hero of the week, like a, you know, common criminal on the street type deal. Yeah. You know, so that was just a trip how they tried to peel the layers back to it because, you know, it's just those little details that you have to remember that like, oh, that's what's going on because he's like, remember you hit me with the donut? I was like, I remember laughing at that.
Yeah, I remember laughing. Right, I remember laughing at that part. I definitely remember. Yeah, that, and that's the trip part about it. It's like the beginning of the whole Spot thing because, I mean, to be real, he's kind of a goofy villain. Yeah. But I actually gained a whole new respect for him because as the movie went on, you start to see him conquering this power he has, and he starts getting serious. And I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of afraid of him. Like, on some real shit, he kind of scary. So that was cool to see sort of his, like, evolution and seeing him become, like, this big bad guy. Because at the beginning, I was like, man, really? Right. This is goofy as fuck. Like, this whole scene is just goofy. And then coming off of the Gwen Stacy, and I was just like, I'm gonna be real, I didn't really care about her whole scenes. I didn't really care about. It was cool to see what happened to Peter, and the whole thing with her dad was wild, but and then to see her get into essentially the Spider Society, I think that's what it's called, with Big Boy Miguel and Spider Woman, that was dope to see that, but overall, man, going into that to the first Spot fight, I was just like, bro, I'm over it.
Yeah, it was really like, man, it was annoying for the most part.
Right.
Like, for him in his shoes, I'm over here thinking about Miles. I'm like, bro, just this dude. Like, it's annoying at this point. Yeah. And he's like, no, I am your nemesis. Like, respect me, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, man, I got shit to do. Right. I'm going to leave you here. I'm telling my homie to call the police, and I'm going to go, deal with my real life. Right. I ain't got time to deal with you, whatever. So, but then, too, it was interesting to kind of see his parents' progression as well or whatnot because they still don't know he's Spider-Man. So, therefore, he's still keeping that secret. He's still going to the school. And then it was posed, I think the counselor or whoever posed to the parents about him going to another school. School
in Jersey, right?
I think, one in Jersey or whatever, which isn't far. So they was like, he could go to Jersey or whatever and learn all this other stuff, whatever. And he told his mom and dad, like, hey, I'm ready for that. Yeah. Like, let me do that or whatever. Right. So, that's another interesting thing as well because I wonder if he does get to go, well.
How's that going to work with him being
Wait a minute. That and then everything else that proceeds afterwards. Yeah. But even if he does, let's just say even if he does end up in that school, who's he going to meet and things of that nature and how things is going to move forward. Because just because it's in a different universe don't mean the same characters can't be in that universe. Right,
yeah.
Like, granted, he lost his Peter Parker in his universe but there's other people that could be his mentors and things.
That's true. That's true. And yeah, and another thing with his parents, for one, I'm happy we got more of his mom because we didn't get a lot of Rio in the first one.
For sure.
Damn, I lost my train of thought. Shoot, man, just go ahead. I forgot my train of thought. I was about to. Okay, no, this is what I was gonna say. With the whole identity of Spider-Man, what's your thoughts on this? Because I thought this was. I feel like now back in the 90s or wherever, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, I feel like cool, we can go off of not telling your parents or your aunt or uncle I'm Spider-Man, you know. But it's like now I'm kind of feeling like it's a little played out because I'm like I wanted him to just go ahead and tell his parents. I feel like your life would be probably a whole lot better if your parents at least knew that, hey, my son is not here, but he's out kicking ass or, you know, fighting crime or whatever. And I get, like, maybe he's like, well, I think he said, I felt like you guys won't love me the same or whatever. So now it's not so much of, I don't want you guys to know because they'll put y'all in danger, but more so, I just want y'all to love me the same because I'm still your son type shit. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it was definitely added weight, you know, but like you said, back in the day, the rule of thumb was more so, I don't want to tell my family my identity, because I don't want to put them in danger. Yeah. So if somebody's looking for me or, you know, wants to use them as leverage against me, I don't want them to have that or whatever. But like you said, essentially with his situation, he's like, damn, I've been keeping it secret for a minute now. So now if I tell them, like, how they going to feel about it? Like, what the hell, you been Spider-Man?
You've been lying.
Yeah. Saying nothing. So, you know, but then again, I just feel like, to me, I was like, I don't think it'll be that deep. I think if you tell your parents, they just like, cool, because you notice in the first movie, whatever, his dad was a big proponent of fuck Spider-Man. Yeah. But in this one, he's more so working with him or whatever. He's annoyed with him at times, but he's working with him. Yeah, which I still don't understand how you don't.
I know it's a movie, but it's like, man, you gotta know that's mom. It's like, come on now.
Then he changed his voice. Right. Oh yeah, so your son, you know, stretch this wide, you know, you keep
right. I'm like, man, come on.
Yeah. But you know, but then too, like you have most of those movies where the mom just always knows. But in this instance, she's not giving no inkling that she. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I don't know if we're jumping too far ahead. I'll just keep it brief. Mm-hmm. But and I'm glad you brought that up. Because it threw me off. I'll say the one part of the movie that really didn't make sense to me is when Gwen told them, "I'm gonna go get Miles," at the end, and then the parents were like, you know, they didn't ask any information. They were just kind of like, well, he's grounded for X amount of time, you know, bring him back. But I'm like, I feel like you being a parent, you know, firsthand. I'm not a parent, but I can guess. If I was one, I would be like, well, hold on, bitch, where is my son? Like, you coming out his bedroom, and then he left to go with you, and you telling me you ain't got my... I'm calling the police. Like, what the hell is going on? So, I'm wondering if maybe they didn't trip so hard, was maybe a part of them know? Or that's something,
that's hard to say. Yeah. Because let's just say, for instance, though, so you got the rooftop scene where they're congratulating his dad for, you know, going to be captain.
Captain, yeah.
So in that part of the scene or whatnot, you know, of course, Miles gets there late. He's trying to get there on time, things of that nature. And the other thing, the cake part was funny.
The cake part was hilarious.
Oh man!
Didn't it say you loser or something on the you failed or something?
I don't know. But he was trying to put a whole 2-page essay on the cake,
right?
And nothing came out the way he wanted to.
Nothing.
But anyways, pushing past that. So you know, Gwen's there. She pops up or whatever. You know, she's hanging with him and the little kickback for his dad and whatnot. And, you know, they're just talking or whatever, but yet he's still grounded because, you know, he had a whole argument with his parents beforehand about him not being on time, and your dad had his great speech. You need to be here for the family, blah, blah, blah. So he's kicking it with Gwen, they talking, having a conversation. She's telling him about everything that she's been doing since she's seen him last. So while they have that conversation, Mom's just looking, she's like, I don't know what's going on over there. Let me slide over there and break this little thing up. I don't know what y'all got going on, but let me break it up real quick. But then she looks, she's like, oh no, he really cares for her. Yeah. So, go ahead, son. I mean, you're still grounded, but go ahead. Yeah. Now, me as a parent, if I say your ass grounded, grounded, right? Like, ain't no, you go kick with such and such, you be back by 12. No, your ass is grounded. You want to hang with her, she can hang with you here or whatever have you.
Right, y'all can stay in the house.
Right. And at that point, I thought, like, maybe she knew. Like, at that point there, like, you see Gwen going away. Go after her, son. You know, go ahead and do what you got to do. Like, at that point, I thought maybe she kind of knew but didn't really know.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they did in the third one that's coming out. Maybe they'll do like a flashback where she saw something spider-esque and she's like, then they go to the scene where she's like, go. And because it just seemed to me, I'm like, okay, your dad is the captain or the police chief. Your mom is a mama. Like, y'all are cool with you. Like, she didn't give y'all no information. You're just like, well, tell him he's grounded for 5 months. I'm like, no, I would be like, bitch, where the hell is my son? Like, so, I don't know. It could go either way. I'm hoping they kind of do something with that. Because I was just kind of like, well, wait now. That don't make no type of sense. But, never know. Right. You never know.
So we definitely jumped a little ahead.
Yeah, we did.
So it's gonna make sense when we get down to it. So boom, he finally follows Gwen or whatever have you, and you know, he's basically tracking her down, so she don't even know that he's following her.
Which, you know what, I'm not gonna lie, that threw me off too, because I'm like, okay, the spider sense should have been tingling now.
Well, I think the spider sense is more so just for danger.
Okay.
Now, if they're not in danger, then maybe nothing goes off. That's what I assume. But even with his invisibility, where like, for me, I'm like, even if you're invisible, I would think somebody that's like you can sense you're there. Because
remember in the first one, he first meets his Peter who died. Remember, like, he's like, the spider sense thing, and he's like, oh, you just like me. So I'm just like, now, okay, you invisible, but how are you right behind her and she ain't sensing nothing? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's small, but I was just thinking that shit, just being a nerd. I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Look, I was like, come on now. Like, nothing, you ain't scraped nothing, like nothing fell, nobody heard nothing.
Right.
You know, so he follows her, whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, she's there on the case.
Yeah.
So if we're being real, the Spy Society is a bunch of pretty much like, you know, Spidey spies.
Pretty much,
or whatever. So she was there on a mission, like she wanted to see him, but she was really there on a mission to get Spy or whatever have you. And so she's there, he's invisible, watching everything she got going on, and find out like, oh, this is deeper than what I thought.
You're right.
You know, like I thought you came here to see me, but you out here doing a whole bunch of other shit. Business trip. So, you know, so she I forgot the other Spider Woman name. She's the one that's pregnant.
Jessica.
Jessica. So her she comes through whatever. She's like, hey, what's going on? I need an update.
Yeah. Did
you go see your friend? Yeah, I did see him. Oh, you ain't supposed to do that. Remember, you gotta focus on the mission.
And I'm like, girl, if you she had to know the severity.
She had to.
This nigga Spot. Because my whole thing is, you up here worried about seeing Miles, and you don't let this nigga get stronger. And what you doing? You know, like if I was Jessica, I would have been like, girl, what is you? And my whole thing is, why did they? I get they probably tasked her with that mission because maybe she was more familiar with that universe or whatever. But I find it hard to believe that they let her. That be her mission. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, y'all. I think it had been like a few months prior to that. I don't know what she showed them for them to feel like she was capable enough, but I would think one of the OGs would have been a part of that mission, knowing the severity of what's going on. Y'all, like, Miguel's whole thing is, like, purpose is trying to keep the multiverse in check. Right. So, I thought that was a little,
Yeah, it's really hard to say, because, I mean, she wasn't with them for long. She had probably been with them for a couple of months. Yeah. So, to put her in that situation is kind of odd. Like, right. It's like you sending me to go get like some type of dry meal, but I'll see a burger right there. I'm gonna want that burger. I ain't really worried about this right here. I'm gonna want that burger. Right. So at the end of the day, you send her there knowing that Miles is there, and she gonna maybe run into him or whatever have you. Because if it's a villain that's being dealt with, whatever Spider-Man that universe is already on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, anywho, you get there. And, you know, Jessica swoops in like, all right, cool, we need to go ahead and wrap this up or whatever. We need to figure out what's going on before he makes things worse and whatnot. So, you know, she goes through the portal and whatnot. Miles is still there the whole time. Right, nobody knows.
No one knows until the last minute when they get there. Then they recognize that he's there. Right. Which, and I don't want to say the wrong, because I don't want to offend anyone. I'm trying to, do you remember what the name of that Spider-Man was?
Ooh.
It was kind of the Indian type universe.
Not Spider. Pitor. Pitor something.
I know the place is Mumbattan.
Yeah.
On Earth 5,000 and whatever.
Right.
That I thought that was really cool to see that version of Spider-Man, because I feel like we definitely haven't seen anything like that before, and I thought that was really dope just to see him and his universe, and then he has his love, and then her dad is like, he's not like a police captain, but he's some version of that over there in their universe. So
right.
I thought that was dope to see him, and then we also get introduced to Spider-Punk, which is my favorite Hobie. I think he's just dope as hell. He's voiced by Daniel Kaluuya.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I didn't know that till like after the movie, because I was like, he sounds familiar, and then to look it up, I was like, okay, yeah, I love him even more. But and then we have, is there another Spider-Man in there, or it's just the four of them? I think.
Yeah, it's just the four of them.
Yeah. And then from there, Miles isn't supposed to save the captain. He ends up fucking up their universe, right? Essentially, he starts like crumbling down and shit. And you know what? I'ma just say it.
Okay.
I don't think Gwen is good for Miles. Every time since she came into his life, shit done got fucked up. Now, granted, the spider wasn't Miles' fault. Now, we know that now. I'm not going to get into wax. We ain't there yet. But everything else, I feel like she is kind of fucking his life up. Because it's like, my whole thing is, and I know the good part of her wasn't really trying to let that police captain die. But my whole thing is, I feel like she didn't really try to stop Miles. She kind of just was like, she kind of just tried to, but then he ended up just saying, I'll be safe, I'll be good. She knew what was about to happen. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you could have just said something, something.
If we being honest, she should have said something from the get-go. Like,
Facts.
when she came through to see him, the reason why she came to see him and things of that nature, because it could have squashed all this.
It could have squashed all this. He probably wouldn't have, I don't know. He may have followed her, but I feel like it just would have been better for her to just tell him, hey, I'm here for this. Maybe he could have helped her. I don't know. I don't know if that would have fucked up the timeline even more.
But the way they're acting, they're like, nah, we don't want him to touch shit. He's the reason for all this stuff. That's basically
true. So they probably was like, he not even supposed to jump in the head, but I'll just keep it brief. He not even supposed to be who he is. So we don't want him touching nothing else.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I would have liked them see him with the other Spider Girl, the black chick with the puffballs. Forgot her name.
Some of the virtual Spider.
Yeah. I would have liked to see him with her, but yeah, Gwen is fucking shit up.
But they did kind of allude to them kind of.
They did, right? I caught that. I did, and I need to do more research on his love interests, but shit, I'm here for it. Gwen needs to go. Gwen's caused too much. But anyways, then from there they have to go to the Spider Society, and then we see her. What you thought of some of the new Spider-Man in it? Because we saw a lot of shit.
It was too much for me to download. If I'm being honest, because if you seen the first one or whatever, you notice that in the end of the movie you see all these Spider-Mans. Essentially, all those Spider-Mans you saw at the end of the movie, you see in the Spider Society. You got one here, you got one there. If you, for gamers, if you play, Spider-Man Web of Shadows or some of the older Spider-Man games,
they were there.
You were introduced to some of these Spider-Man, all these different suits.
PS4 was there.
Yeah. So you was introduced to some of those, so it was just a lot. I was just trying to, that's, but then some of the new ones too, I was like, I didn't know.
The T-Rex, we had a damn horse.
The only reason I know about T-Rex is because of my son.
Okay,
So
I
think they had a Spider-Man T-Rex on YouTube or something like that, and he's part of the Spideyverse.
That's hilarious. Even the Lego thing was pretty cool too. The Lego got all serious, so I'm like, whoa. It really makes you think, it kind of changes how you feel about Spider-Man, because it's almost like you always think Spider-Man is you see Spider-Man in a certain light, so to see that essentially all of them are a part of like the secret society is crazy. It's almost like, because me and my family were talking about, we were like, well damn, we thought Spider-Man was like good, like, you know, not to say they're evil, but you know what I'm saying, yeah.
Right. Because I mean, Gwen played him out, because he was talking, he was like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of the society. Oh, it's a small group.
Right. Yeah.
The whole time it's like 100,000 Spider-Mans doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah,
bro.
so that was funny.
That was wild. And then also, what'd you think of seeing Childish Gambino?
I saw something beforehand. I was like, okay.
Me too.
It made sense. I was like, I saw it. I was like, because they had introduced him in the first Spider-Man? Homecoming? They had introduced him there or whatever. So then you see that, and then you get to the Spider-Man movie into the Spider-Verse, whatever, the first one or whatnot, and then you're like, oh, he got an uncle, blah, blah, blah. So all that stuff started to match up. So when I see him in the suit, I'm like, okay, I'm not surprised.
That was dope to see. Yeah. And then also, like, we see Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield. I thought that was a cool touch, and to see that. And then
they brought it all in, because did you know that I think Childish had voiced Miles Morales
in the show. Yeah, I saw that, which was dope, because I even heard that if it wasn't for Childish Gambino, essentially we wouldn't even have a Miles Morales. Because
I heard.
Yeah, I think one of the creators saw him on one of his shows in a Spider-Man costume. She was like, you know, it'd be dope to have a black Spider-Man, and then Miles Morales. So I think it's dope. It's almost like a circle type thing, like you know. So I think it's cool. Before I've kind of a little. I was a little suspicious on if I could see him as the Prowler, because I've never really seen him in like a evil role, Childish Gambino. Yeah. So seeing him, just even if it was a glimpse, I can see it. I'm here for it. If they were to do it,
if they follow through with it, I mean, it could be a thing, because if they introduce him there now, who's to say he can't be in the universe going forward?
Yeah,
you know, because you got Spider-Man 4 that's gonna come out or whatnot, and Tom Holland's still signed on for that. So
and then we just heard that they're actually in development for the live action now. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yeah,
because you know the voice actor, forget his name. I don't know why I always forget his name. But the voice actor for Miles Morales for the movie or whatnot, he's actually trying to lose weight so that he can play
I saw it. And I hate that he's getting so much, like, from what I've seen, hate. Like, people are like, he can't. And I'm like, why not? And then people are like, well, he needs to be Afro-Latino and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, I get that. Yeah. I do get that. Yeah. But I also feel like I could see him. I think his name is Shamik.
Yeah, Shamik.
Shamik Moore. Yeah, I'm here for it. I could see it. Because I feel like, you know, he may not, I guess, fit the idea of what people think Miles should look like. But to me, Miles, even though he is Afro-Latino, Miles looks like a black kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean.
We can get deeper in that in the end, because he does look like a black child, essentially. Because, I mean, if, you know, Shamik does decide to lose weight or whatever, he looks a lot like the character. Yeah. So if he decides to lose weight and be there for the live action, it would make sense. Yeah. And then too, he's voicing Miles.
He is Miles.
He can do the accent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's like, people are tripping, man. Yeah. But back to the movie. I just want to touch on, since we're talking about Hobie and them coming about. I thought his character design was so dope. So dope. I just, me being an artist, like, I just was like, oh my god, the way they drew him and just animated him was so dope. Because I read that since he's like, I'm not conforming to shit, his animation was like that. Yeah. And that was dope. So like that was dope.
Like, even when everybody's animation was steady, his shit
just kept moving. Yeah. So that was dope to see. And then also being finally introduced to Miguel. Now that's someone I can't wait for us to talk about.
My old hero. That motherfucker's unhinged.
Unhinged. Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is, it's funny to me how, and it may be because he fucked up another universe, because I'm just like, bro, you so hard on Miles, you don't went and, because you just, and it's not even he had a family before, he just wanted one. Yeah. So he goes to a universe where his self is dead and just tries to fit in. Bro, you're psycho. And then, like, you end up fucking up that universe, that innocent universe.
Yeah.
It's like, have some compassion. Like, this is not even your family. Like,
right.
come on now, man. It would be different if it was on some kingpin shit. Like, this nigga actually lost his family, so you know he's trying to bring him. It's not. This is not your family, man.
Nah,
come on.
Not because at the end of the day, or whatever, you know, he was talking about everything that Miles was doing and everything like that, or whatever. But like you said, to your point, it's like, nah, nigga, you suspect shit. Like, you try to take another person's whole life,
whole life,
and live it. Like,
you weird. You're
right. You're weird, some weird shit. Like, he just trying to save his family.
Right.
And you went to another universe and took somebody's family.
And destroyed a whole universe.
Right. So, like, your shit is definitely way worse than what he doing. Like,
right. At least we'll get to it, but I'll just say, just what happened to Miles, it wasn't his fault. The shit you did was your fault.
Right.
You caused all that shit. So, but yeah, just other than that though, I loved his character design. I loved just how unhinged he is. Like, this nigga looks crazy. Like, when he get upset. And it also, like, you really see, like, the ruthlessness and the unhingedness of his character. Just the eyes turning red, the talons and the teeth. And, yeah, he's a dope character.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Because, I mean, you know, when you get introduced to him in the end of the first movie or whatever, he just seems like he's
just a regular,
cool, like, hey, I need you to fix this right here. We got this to do here. Like, oh, okay, he ain't gonna be too bad of a character, whatever. Then you get to this, like, nigga, relax. Like, yeah,
right, yeah, and then just the whole intervention aspect of them finally telling Miles what the fuck is going on. And I thought it was a little fucked up. No, a lot fucked up.
Not a little, lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. Because my whole thing is, you tell this man his dad is going to die. And he just supposed to just be okay with that because it's canon, it's supposed to happen. I don't blame Miles. I would have been like, fuck you. I'm going to save my damn daddy. I don't care. Like, y'all are on some bullshit.
Right.
Like, that was wild.
Because where we at is when he finally gets into the Spider Society, whatever, and they, you know, after a while, he's just trying to get a band. He's just trying to get a watch to be there so he can travel in and out of these universes and see his friends.
Right.
Because essentially, that's all he wants to do.
Right.
But then that's when they break it to him, like, nah. You don't know where, you the one messing up everything, blah, 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 whatever have you, whatnot. And then, so, going back to the, when they met the Indian Peter Parker or whatnot, so that's when he met the punk rock Spider-Man or whatever. And he's always been used to just using his fingertips.
Yeah,
so, things or whatever. And Buddy was like, hey, man, you got to use your whole hand. Like, use your palm and it'll break through stuff or whatever. So, fast forward, you get to this part here where they're trying to literally have an intervention with him and tell him, like, look, you're the reason why everything fucked up. We got to lock you down until 2 days later after your dad died. You need to stay here type deal.
Yeah.
And then they go to punk Spider-Man like, hey, I'll show you.
Right. And I love how he was always in the cut, like, rooting him on, like, and then even when he finally got loose, he just, like, laughed, and he was like, yeah, I'm proud of you, man, I'm proud of you. yeah, but it was crazy, because even, so Peter Parker, I'll say the lazy Spider-Man, Miles' mentor, he has a daughter now, Mayday, which I loved that too. That was dope. His daughter and everything. She's tripping me out. So all these niggas know prior to like what is going on with Miles and him fucking up the timeline and all this other shit. And they don't even say. And even Miles, I think he looked at Gwen and he was just like, because they were saying in every universe, you know, if the captain dies, the uncle has to die, and Miles is just like, well, Gwen, your dad is captain, so you cool with your dad, like, and I'm not gonna lie, she kind of was like, but then I thought, you know, right? I'm like, your dad did pull a gun on you, and he didn't pull it like shoot the trigger at you, but he still pulled the trigger, that was so I couldn't even blame her for being like.
Because when I seen that shit, I was like, this PG, right?
Right. I'm like, well, damn, this nigga really shot. Like, so I would have been like, damn, like, yeah, I don't, shit, it is what it is. And Miles was just like, bro, come on now. So when he finally got loose and that whole all the Spider-Man was at. I thought that was super, 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 super dope.
That was wild. That was wild to keep up with.
It was a lot.
Everybody was at them. At least about 200,000 Spider-Man was after him. They was just going at it.
Yeah.
It was a trip.
Yeah. And then when they finally get on that train thing, and then that's when, man, Miguel just lays all the shit out on him. Like,
that nigga was on his ass. He got on that train like, nigga, come here.
Right.
You need to go. Like, he was coming for him.
Right.
Because I'm over there thinking like, oh, okay.
Right, and then to tell this boy, you wasn't even supposed to be Spider-Man. This Spider came from another universe. Because of you, this universe don't even got a Spider-Man. You an anomaly. Like, you not even supposed to be here. I was just like, yo.
Right.
I was like, yo, Miguel is nasty, man.
Like, he pretty much got to the point, like, I'm tired of playing with you.
I'm tired of playing with you.
Like, you ain't supposed to be here. You got me running around chasing your ass through these streets.
You got me fucked up, man. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, here, right now, you were not supposed to be here. I thought that shit was crazy. Cause I was just like, damn, now I think about that spider was glitching in the first one. So, yeah, that part just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And the other part that I liked, no, we're skipping ahead. I liked when, because I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Miles was gonna fold. I was like, man, don't let him get in your head. Don't let him get in your head. But no, when he, like, took, like, you could tell, like, he relaxed himself. He was like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then he got himself out of that shit. Like, it was all, like, a plan.
Right.
And all the Spider-Man went there, and they asses got knocked off. And then he went off, did his invisible thing. And I liked, and I wish I knew her name, but the virtual black girl.
Spider.
Yeah, Spider Girl. Sorry, y'all, if we not remembering all these damn names. But I thought that was cool that she allowed Miles to get away. Yeah. So I didn't know how the fuck he was gonna get out of that.
Nah, I really didn't, because like, you know, they was coming back because whole time Peter B. Parker was, you know, he tried to pull him to the side like, look, man, I know you're mad. I'm just trying to tell you, like, you know, like this ain't on you. Let's talk about this or whatever have you. Like, hold my baby, man. Like,
right. And then my thing is, Miles he was like, if you hadn't known Uncle Ben was gonna die, would you still be asking me to do the same thing? Like, would you just let it happen?
Right. And he was looking at him like, because they knew what was what.
Yeah, they knew.
So to tell that man like, nah, you need to just go ahead and let your dad die and all that stuff. He's like, nah, I'm not having that.
Yeah, fuck that.
The whole thing with the canon events to me is with Spider-Man, or at least the rule of thumb with Spider-Man, it was always one person that was their canon event or whatever. But then again, that's based off of Toby. Toby only lost his uncle. Yeah. And then you had Amazing Spider-Man.
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield's character, whatever. Not only did he lose his uncle, they didn't even really show the part that he lost his uncle, but they showed when he lost Gwen Stacy in the second one.
Yeah.
And then you got the third Tom Holland, he lost everybody. He lost his, uncle and
lost May.
So he lost his uncle, then he lost May or whatever. Like he lost all everything. Whatever. So I was like, damn, so I was trying to think like, damn, maybe he do have to lose his dad.
Oh, and then Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man, he also lost Gwen Stacy's dad in the first one too.
That's right.
And he was the captain, so
right, because he was guilty about being with her even after that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But real quick, we're gonna pay some bills real quick. Gotta get the cameras going real quick. We're gonna be right back. All right, we are back. And we will jump back into it. So, boom, where were we at?
Where we at when he escaped, or?
I think, when he was escaping, I know I talked about Peter B. Parker trying to talk to him, her baby and things of that nature, but like I said, Miles was just really tight. Like, y'all could have gave me a call, sent me a multiversal email, something. Y'all could have told me what was up before waiting until I get here, and then basically, like, where I'm, like, not on my deathbed, but where, like, I'm at my wit's end, y'all like, we didn't say we was gonna do it like this. Like, wait, what?
So, like, what? Like, and then I don't blame Miles. I've been looking at Peter sideways, Gwen sideways, everyone. So I'm like, y'all niggas know me. Y'all could have definitely sat down and told me what was up. But y'all, like, y'all with this shit? Like, And then y'all over here trying to like talk to me after the fact. It's like, no, I don't want to hold your baby. I don't want to talk to y'all. Like, I'm good. Like, he at that point, I think he just was like, I can't trust nobody. Like,
no, not for real. He really felt betrayed because even what's that Spider Girl name, the one that's in the robot, she showed up.
Penny Parker.
Penny Parker, she showed up or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so like, basically like, okay, boom. After we split, all y'all went to the Spider Society. I knew what was up, but y'all ain't telling me nothing. You know, and then what kind of kills me is like you had the capability to come see me. Like he even told Peter B. Parker, like, bro, why you ain't come see me? Like, like what's up?
Yeah.
Like, and he's the least person to follow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, that shit was crazy. I felt bad for him in that moment, but I am happy that Margot Spider-Bite, the black girl, I like that they had that moment and she was just like, I'm gonna let him go, even though she essentially fucked him over. But I was just like, in the movies, I'm like, yo, Miguel was like. Like eyes red, and I was like, bro, he's gonna kill Miles, yo. Like, that was crazy.
I only go
yes, literally, like he got pissed the off. But yeah, and then she, you know, we thinking Miles is going to his right universe. This nigga gets sent to what, Earth 42 or something?
Yeah, I think it was Earth 42.
Yeah, which is not his right universe.
His universe is.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So no, and then Gwen, they're probably at that point they're like, Gwen, listen, you don't fuck too much shit up. We sending your ass back home. Miguel was like, I think she was just like, I forgot what she said, but Miguel was like, that yeah, we sending you back. They sent her ass back, and so she at that point had no choice but to face her dad, and they ended up reconciling. And Hobie. This nigga done made a watch, and he left it with the dad. I'm like, Hobie came in with the
Hobie, like, he saying, fuck the system.
Right, fuck the system.
But the fact this nigga was able to create his own watch. So.
Just like that, yo. And I love that all the Spider-Men are smart as hell. Like, the fact that he was able to just make his own watch, then leave it with Gwen. I'm really, I know I keep saying this, but he's like legit one of my new favorite Spider people, because I just think like just everything about him was just super dope. I love how I said earlier he was just in the cut, like cheering Miles on, like kind of being like a mentor almost at one aspect, telling him, hey man, what I told you with the hands, sending Gwen the watch. I mean, he kind of is the mastermind behind helping them get out of their situations. Yeah,
I mean, essentially, because you gotta think, with Miles, he never knew anyone that had something similar to his power or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of helping him to build up, you know, more because of that or whatever. He's teaching, like, this is a better way to do it and blah, blah, blah. And I do think Spider-Punk is going to play a pivotal role in the next movie.
I think so, too. Yeah.
So, you know, he, like you said, definitely mastermind. I don't even... Hell, I could even venture to say he just infiltrated the establishment or whatever.
Just
to see what was
because,
going on. Just
because. And then when he started seeing that, she's like, yeah. I feel like all of that was just a part of his plan, like, essentially. It's like you said, for him to be in something like that doesn't make sense, the type of person he is. So, like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm willing to bet that was all just part of just so he could dismantle that shit.
Had to.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, the whole time while Gwen was out here or whatever, apparently she had something going on with him, too.
Yeah, I peeped that, yeah.
So, you know, when Miles was peeping, they're like, hey, what you been doing? What?
Well, you
changed your shoes up? Like, what's going on?
You left your toothbrush? Like, what?
Right. So he's trying to figure out what's going on with that. And I think that's why he kind of adjusted his focus to the old girl. Like, oh, okay, well, you got this going on. Like, let me see what she talking about.
Yeah, let me,
you know
right.
So,
you playing. I'm
right.
trying. But, yeah, that was dope to see. And I'm happy that her and her dad reconciled and everything like that, which was cool. And it seems finally now he's like, I'm accepting of Gwen, you know, even though she did kill her friend, but, you know, and then, you know, I feel like as a cop, should have been some evidence going on, but you knew that Peter was the lizard or some shit. Like, come on now. Like, you should still be running with this narrative that, you know, Spider-Woman killed Peter. Come on now.
Right.
But anyway, so what we get to Miles thinks he's in his right universe.
Yeah.
If I'm jumping ahead, I don't know.
No, good.
Okay, so he finally tells his mom that he's Spider-Man, and even I knew something was up. Because when he said it, she was just kind of like, stop playing. Like
she didn't even flinch.
At all. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, he's not in the right universe. Because even when she was like, what happened to your braids? I'm like, oh, shit. This nigga done went to the wrong universe. Like, right. It makes sense. So, I thought that whole scene was crazy.
Oh, yeah, no, it was definitely wild because, the whole time, like, Miguel, he done run a couple people with him to chase him down.
Yeah.
Come find out he in a whole nother universe. And then Gwen went to his universe and don't see him there. Like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the whole thing where you saying, like, she coming out with his jacket.
Yeah.
And telling the family, like, hey, I'm going to fix this. I don't know where you got to fix it. What you mean you don't know where you got girl?
Right, what you?
I sent him with
you. So, bitch, go get my son. Right. Like, I don't care what you... I was told the dad, lock her ass. We need handcuffs, something. Because what the hell... That whole thing, and that's why I said, that's what we were talking about in the beginning. I'm like, did the mom know? But it don't even make sense for the dad either, because how y'all cool about this? Like, it just don't make sense. I would have felt like Gwen telling them, I'm Spider-Woman in my universe. Mm-hmm. Miles is Spider-Man. Like, her telling him straight up, and I have to go save them. Right. I feel like then I could see them being, bring our son back, type shit, or, go get him, or whatever. But them just not knowing where the fuck Miles is at. This nigga's also grounded. Like, y'all don't know where he is. This girl's coming out that you just met. Right. You don't even know her. Right. And y'all are cool. How? What?
It was weird for sure.
Y'all are black and Hispanic parents. How? Like, how do y'all not care? Like, the math isn't mathing, but yeah, that part, a little weird.
I don't know. Like, but it's like most movies where kids disappear for a while, their parents just like, oh, what's going on? Like,
right.
It's the rule of thumb with movies or whatever. So they just like, oh, okay, well, bring it back. Just
yeah.
Because fast forward when you get the Miles into this new universe, you don't know nothing about it, whatever. His uncle walks through the door, so it's definitely a shock for him because he's like, I remember you being dead, and now I know I'm in a different universe because you're not even supposed to be here. And even when the uncle walks in or whatever, it's almost like he doesn't like not acknowledge him, but he knows something else. Like you see something, it's something weird about how he looked at him.
Yeah, and my whole thing is just like, did him and that Miles, that universe Miles already know what was up? Because, like you said, he kind of came in like he wasn't phased. You would think like he would it was nothing. He just came in like it was just normal type shit. Yeah. So I'm thinking like, did him and Miles already talk about this shit or what? Because I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did that one?
Hold on. I heard it. Like it went off.
Definitely heard it.
This is my saying 0 like I ain't got no time on it. It's recorded now. Says I got 3 hours left on it, so I'm trying to figure out why I did that.
Right, yeah.
Oh, well. Sorry.
Alright. Damn, what was I talking? Okay, yeah. So yeah, the uncle comes in, Miles hugs him, he's crying, he's like, like you said, my uncle, last time I saw my Uncle Aaron, he was dead. So,
right.
He's like, oh, So then he goes in the kitchen with the mom. They seem like they got some type of, does she know he kind of, because he bring back some money?
Yeah, so cause first whole time I thought they was in a relationship. I'm like, that's gonna be wild.
If I was waiting for them to kiss or something. I was waiting for it.
Cause I was watching. I'm like, you up on his mama like, hey,
right.
What's up?
Right, I was waiting for it. Cause I was just kind of like, well, this is a little weird to me,
right.
And I was waiting for the embracing the kids, but it didn't come. So I'm like, all right, then these niggas go up to the rooftop. I'm like, they about to get into some illegal shit, probably. Because I'm thinking Uncle was the Prowler, of course, in that universe.
Right.
Miles gets knocked the fuck out.
Sleep.
And then this nigga ends up tied up.
Uh-huh.
And then
In the same apartment, really?
Right,
That's about the same apartment.
Is it the same apartment? Yeah. And then the uncle's just not saying shit.
He talks to him like, man, I know you're proud of me.
Right.
Like, you ain't got to do this and all that.
Right. And then the uncle comes like, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, because I watch a lot of anime. Now, normally when that happens, someone's head done got taken off. So when I saw that shit, I was like, well, I know they ain't killed Miles, but this ain't looking too good.
PG starting to get stressed.
Right. So, but he didn't. I guess he just did that to, like, scare him up. But he was just like, I'm not the Prowler. Mm-hmm. Then he say, like, I'm not the Prowler, he is, or some shit. Then you see this nigga, other universe Miles, crouching in the shadows and shit, which, that was the coldest scene in the movie. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yo, this Miles is cool as fuck.
Right.
And then the music, and then him walking up, he got the sneaks on. Mm-hmm. The uncle throws the glove, and he's just like, I nerded the fuck out on that part. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And then, like, he was just like, I forgot the dialogue, but he was just like, who are you? And then that mask went up, and he was just like, I'm Miles Morales with the accent. Then he was like, you call me the Prowler?
Right. Because, I mean,
that shit was cool.
When the Prowler Miles show up or whatever, he pretty much hold the Miles that we know. He pretty much was like, nigga, you thought you was Afro-Latino, nigga.
Right. That shit was cold, man. Which is cool, because I don't know if you know, what you probably do. Because I was, like, looking up, every time I go to my research and shit, but I didn't know it was voiced by a different person. I thought that was the same Shamik.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that documentary with I think it was the 8 boys who went to jail when they were kids.
Oh, you talking about When They See Us?
No, I don't know. It was something the 8 something. You've seen it, because one of them ended up marrying Delicious from Flavor Flav.
Okay.
Flavor Love.
Okay.
But anyways, one of the boys who plays one of the guys in the documentary, he voices Miles. He's like Afro-Latino in real life. So I thought that was cool. And I was like, well, damn, they sound just alike. I would have never known. Yeah, it's 2 different people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was just like, that's dope. That's dope.
Because I'm over there just in awe, like, yeah, that accent is definitely strong.
Right.
And, like, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was dope that they did that. And I feel like they picked a great person to voice. I would have never known if I didn't look.
Nah, if you didn't look and do
Yeah. But that whole scene, man, that scene was cold. That scene was cold, man.
Because I was wondering, too, like, you know, the whole time when Miles is telling, you know, his uncle, like, I know you proud, whatever, they end up being the other Miles, I was wondering, like, did he pass that down to that Miles or whatever have you? Because I feel like after his dad died, he got into the hood rat shit with his uncle. So therefore, you know, down the line, he's becoming more of like his uncle or whatever. So that was my thing, too. I'm like, what's going on here or whatever? So, you know, I don't know.
That's what I was saying, because I'm thinking, because I was trying to compare universes. So because that Miles didn't become Spider-Man, is that the reason, well, essentially, I feel like, is that the reason why his uncle didn't die? Because if, let's say, because I'm with you, I'm like, did the uncle pass down being the Prowler to him? Because if we're going off of our Miles universe, the uncle was the Prowler. He didn't get killed by Kingpin. Because Miles wasn't there to make him hesitate. Yeah. So then I'm thinking, well, is that why his dad died? Because if we're going off of that universe, when the collider thing was going on, that thing would have exploded essentially, or something would have happened for him to die if Miles wasn't there as Spider-Man to stop it. So I'm like, are the universes kind of the same? You know, I don't know.
It is and it isn't, because like you said, at the end of the day or whatever, like, you know, the dad died in this universe or whatever, but the dad hasn't died in that universe as of yet or whatever. But in the Miles We Know universe, his uncle's gone. Yeah. This one, he isn't. That uncle's still there. He's still present or whatever. Yeah. So I do think, like you said, it was bits and pieces of maybe what happened in Miles' timeline that didn't happen in this timeline to, you know, get him to this point, to where he's at. Because essentially, like, you know, his dad and his uncle were at odds.
Yeah, they were, right?
You know, he didn't like that his brother was doing the street stuff or whatever, you know, whatever that he, that he was doing. I don't even know if he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, they were always kind of at odds or whatever. So for it to be like, okay, he dies or whatever, and, you know, the Miles that we know, he had already had a relationship with his uncle. He loved his uncle. He loved hanging around and everything like that or whatever. So it was like one of those things where if his dad wasn't there to pull him away from that, that's the life he would have led, which that's what the universe is showing, the life he would have led had he not been pulled away from it.
Yeah, because I also did a lot of research, and they were saying, they essentially said that it was like our Miles was destined to become the Prowler.
Right.
And I believe in the first one they were saying when he first meets that Spider-Man in his universe, if you notice, the spider sense is like purple and green. Yeah. It changes to blue and red when he initially meets Spider-Man because his biggest influence in his life was his uncle at that time. Then it switched to Spider-Man colors because Spider-Man then became his biggest influence, and then he was destined to be Spider-Man. So yeah, I thought that shit. It's like, man, this shit is deep, man. It's deep. And so I thought it was really interesting to see how just something as him getting bit by that spider just changed his life like that. Like the fact that he was destined to become the Prowler, and then him getting bit by that spider, and then he becomes Spider-Man. That shit is wild. It's wild.
That's the motherfucker. Like, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, because like you said, had it not been for that spider biting him, he would have followed the life of his uncle, and then his dad would have, eventually died.
And then that would have pushed him further into that shit. Like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, multiverse shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Because all the multiverse is what could have happened.
What could have?
If it happened, then what
the endless possibilities. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and then I also saw, I guess it was like a sketch. You know how they sketch stuff and the storyboard artists, whatever. They have a sketch of the Prowler Miles with the braids and everything. He's like, it looks like he's sitting in class, and they have like the spider near his hand. And they were saying that, I guess they may show it, which would be dope if they start off the third one just showing how the spider almost getting that Miles, and then it ends up going to the other universe. That would be dope. I hope they go with that, and then they go into like the actual movie. But they were saying somehow in that scene, somehow the spider glitched out or something and ended up going to the other universe.
Just like everybody else got spilled into a different universe in the first one.
Yeah.
That's
dope, man. I'm telling you.
Because like you said, essentially, like even what you said at the beginning, essentially that spider was meant to bite Miles Morales. And that was the one in the other universe. It didn't happen. And like this one got glitched out, got over here. Okay, where's he at?
Yeah.
He was here, now he's not. And that's when you found that one or whatever. That's
crazy.
A crazy concept.
Yeah, man. The nerves was like, because when they said that, I was like, that makes sense. So you think about it, he's like, how? It's just a coincidence that this spider, it's almost like the spider was just like, I got to find Miles Morales. Because he's like, I'm supposed to bite on Miles Morales. He finds that one, and that is just, that's how it ended up being, man. It's crazy, man.
But I got another rabbit hole I can go into, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's like the rabbit hole is so deep, is crazy. Because I was just all day just looking at videos and stuff. I'm just like, what?
I don't know, man. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, say it.
So essentially, if this spider is from another universe, it's glitching out and it bites him, his venom is going into him. His venom is not of that universe. Why is he not glitching out outside of that?
That makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just question that now.
And when you saying I'm thinking, so you would think internally, like, that shit is in your bloodstream now, so you would think he would just be glitching all the time.
Or maybe that's the cause of the electric powers. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, because he is the only one with his type of powers.
Yeah.
So
even that, or even when he gets invisible, like, maybe that's a part of
the side effects
because he can phase, not necessarily phase, but not be seen because that's not of that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know. It's so much you could just go with.
Right.
The possibilities. Man, when they said that, I was just like, man, like this nigga was destined to be the Prowler. Right. That's crazy. It's crazy.
So, I mean, that just goes back to my point there. So, the Prowler was originally his uncle. Then he passed it on to him, like, damn near his son at this point. You know,
and I'm wondering, is Uncle Aaron low-key afraid of Miles now? Because he's kind of like, Miles is the boss, essentially, and it kind of seems like the uncle's just kind of following after him at this point. Now. Yeah, the lackey type shit. Because that Miles is low-key scary.
Because, I mean, he might be more ruthless than
I think
uncle.
so. I think so.
That might be the deal. Or, I just don't know. But it'll be interesting because when the next one comes out will be March of next year.
Yeah, which I'm so happy we don't have to wait that long, man. So I thought they were going to say some shit like sometime next summer around this time. And I'm going to say, come on, man. Y'all should already have this movie done. Come on. Come on, man. Come on.
They got it done. They just want to keep the anticipation going.
Right.
I don't think I've ever been this hyped for like a PG movie like this or whatever.
Oh yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah,
it was dope.
It's pushing the limits because it's like it's PG, so it's for kids, but nah, it's really fuck them kids.
Right,
like,
right.
All on that.
Right, yeah. Because I'm like, just to touch back on what you said about him being more of a ruthless prowler. I mean, he definitely was. I think Miles was like, please I need to go. Our dad is gonna. He was like, your dad.
Your dad.
Nigga. I was like, damn.
You thought we were going to say, my dad, go on. Right. I don't give a fuck about that. Right.
He was like, your dad. It's not my dad. My dad dead, man. I was like, damn. And then when, what else he said? Then Miles was like, please, you gotta let me go. He was like, now why would I do that? So I'm thinking, this is just a theory. Maybe Miguel done got to them already, and they got some type of deal where he was like, don't let him go. Something. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm not going. Yeah, okay.
Unless there's some type of maybe he knows the truth already too, about the spider biting Miles, and it was supposed to be he was supposed to get bit. I don't know.
That's like I said. There's so many ways
to
break it down. I mean, I do feel like he knows something. Just for the fact of him showing up there, he's like, all right, you're here for a reason. I'm not letting you go anywhere until I figure out what that reason is.
Yeah, oh yeah. True too. Yeah. So man, but yeah, the whole scene was cold, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then looking back on the scenes, I was wondering why he turned the lights on in his glove and like reached behind him. But I think he was just like maybe trying to get a good look at him or something.
I forgot that part.
I think he like put the glove like right here, and the light was on, and they were just kind of looking at each other, and then Miles is about to do his Venom shit and get up out of there or whatever. So and then Gwen is gathering all the spider people and all that. Which was dope. That was dope to see, and I love the scene where Mayday, this Peter's baby, was like hanging upside down. She pointed out the window. Like, what kind of baby is this? Right, man.
She the best of Peter, man.
Right. Yeah. So and the way they ended it off, I'm just sitting there like, man, it's we about to go off, and then the shit just to be continued.
Yeah, because I mean, like we were saying or whatever, like everything went so fast at the beginning. Yeah. And then when you finally gets like, I ain't gonna say the middle, like it's way past the middle at this point. And that's when they start giving you something to meet in the story. Yeah, it's like, oh shit. And then when you get to the part, it's like, all right, what's next? To be continued. Like, I didn't know this was going to be a part one. Like, right. So they really left you with a big cliffhanger versus the other one. It gave you a glimpse of what could it be or whatever. But this was like, nah, y'all just going to wait till the next one.
Yeah, and see, that's the funny thing. It's like, I knew it, like, I read it was going to be, they were splitting the last two into part one, part two. But it's like, I forgot. So, like, in the movie, I'm, like, sitting there, I'm like, what? And then I'm like, but you know what? This is some Infinity War shit. So, we're going to get our conclusion in the next one.
Yeah.
And we just got to wait. Unfortunately, I'm like, damn, y'all left it off on a great cliffhanger. That's for sure.
Like, it's like when it started getting interesting. I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Like, what's going on now?
Right. Man, that shit's going to be epic. What are you most looking forward to in the next one?
I'm just more looking forward to that universe. What's going on in that universe versus his?
Yeah.
Because like even the painting on the building, in the in Miles' universe, it was a painting of his uncle.
Yeah.
And this one was a painting of his dad or whatever. And then I just want to see what the relationships are like between this universe's Miles and his mom or whatnot. Because, excuse me, like I was saying, you can tell this Miles is more into his roots, if that makes sense. And so it's kind of interesting to see what that dynamic is, because for all we know, his mom could be with the shits. You know,
That's
so
true.
I don't know. It's really hard to say because even her demeanor is different than, you know, what you saw in the original Spider-Man universe or whatever. So
she was more like side-eyeing Uncle Aaron more so, along with the dad, like with Miles. This one, she's kind of just like, this nigga bringing her home money and shit. She ain't say nothing. Right? Like, she was like, yeah, so I'm with you. I'm interested in seeing, because I feel like what they're going to do, I think that universe's Prowler Miles, I think is going to end up helping Miles. And I think, because some people were saying, even if, I didn't see it, I got to go back and watch it, but they were saying the reflection of the uncle in the window, I guess when Miles is talking to the other Miles, he looks sad or something. And I'm like, so they were saying, well, maybe he doesn't like what Miles has become, and there's a part of him that is good. So maybe he'll be the voice of reason for Miles, or maybe he may end up dying in that universe or whatever, and then Miles is just like, yo, I gotta change or whatever like that. So I don't know. It's such 1,000 possibilities. What I do feel like is gonna happen. I hope they don't do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did do it. I feel like the dad may die, but I feel like it may not be in the way that he saw in his vision. It may be in a different way. Because I feel like it's too easy. I feel like it's obvious that, because they've already said it. They were like, when Gwen, that's the part that we missed, Gwen realizes, well, shit, my dad is retiring, so, and nothing's happening, so shit ain't gotta be kidded. You know what I'm saying? And shit will be okay. So she's like, well, Miles is right. He can save his dad. Yeah. And the timeline will be straight. So I feel like if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if the dad ends up dying, but it's just like in a different way. Maybe that Miles wasn't expecting. Because I feel like it's too easy to just go off of, oh, well, he can rewrite his own history. It's like, duh, like y'all have written that across the board. Like, we know that. I feel like it would be too easy to go with that, if I'm making sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think because at the end of the day, I guess I'm looking at it like this too, whatever. In most multiversal scenarios or whatever, if one person doesn't die, then someone else got to take the bullet.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm like, is it Gwen? I don't know. I don't know if it'll be Gwen, because I don't know. I don't know
because, I mean, like we said, you know, it's only going to be 3 movies or whatever, so if somebody ends up dying in the third one, it's not going to, not going to affect anything or whatever. But I will say, the new universe that Miles is in or whatever, it seems like it's more crime ridden because they don't have a Spider-Man.
That's what people were saying, that his universe is very much crime ridden, and he's kind of like the ringleader of the shit.
That's
like,
he running shit. Seemed like.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like. So, I mean, with that being said, you know, like, okay, I get there's no Spider-Man there, but y'all don't have no heroes? Like, is it just all crime? Like, there's nobody trying to fight against all this shit?
Yeah, so, that's another good question, which I feel like I don't think there is anyone. I think it's just that, like you said, it's just a crime-ridden universe, and Miles is running that shit. Yeah. Like, so, damn. It's damn. I'm excited to see where they go with this shit. I'm excited about the fight. I'm excited to see some of the other people there, like Peter Porker, whatever that pig's name, Spider Noir. And the rest of the gang, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Spider-Punk in action, because we saw him like that one time with the guitar and everything. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, like I said, be front row center for it or whatnot or whatever. What ain't no telling what we'll probably be in season. What we in season 2 now? We'll probably be in season
maybe
3 or 4 by then.
Right.
You know, but that's if everything keeps rolling out like it should, because you know we talked about the writer strikes and things of that nature. You got a lot of stuff on pause.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of stuff.
Luckily, a lot of stuff that we got for this season has already been done, so we ain't got to worry about it not being put out.
Yeah.
But you know, that's kind of worrying me, especially for the rest of the universe, because you got like 5 rated R movies about to drop, and if things don't go how it's supposed to, they can get pushed back. So.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of Marvel's shit is being delayed. Like, they're just like, the writer's strike. I was like, man, come on now. Like, it's like, damn, are we ever going to get Blade at this point? Like, goddamn. Like,
I don't stop hoping.
Right.
I think Deadpool will come out for Blade, dude, at this point.
And in my own, that's for another. I'm gonna just say it. I just because I just hope they do it right. I'm gonna just say that. I just hope they do it right because I don't want it to come off. I know Deadpool is essentially like, you know, this goofy. He's a goofy character, you know. Essentially, is what he is. I just, for the Wolverine's sake, because coming from Logan to, you know, I just hope they do it right. I hope it just doesn't become some goofy ass laugh fest type shit.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say because, I mean, as much as we wanted Logan to come back and everything like that, it's just really hard to say, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, at first you Jack was like, nah, I'm not trying to do it no more. I'm good. You know, nobody recognizes me for anything else but Wolverine.
Shit,
so.
Ride that train till the wheels fall off, shit. I mean,
if you're good at it, then you're good at it. So, I mean,
yeah.
you know, that's just all what it boils down to.
Yeah, shit. So what? It's made you a lot of money, a lot of success. People love you. I'm a fan. Shit, ride that bus till the wheels fall off. I'm here for it.
That's probably all they did. They threw that money. I'm like, come on, one more time.
Right, one more time. You know, if we get him for this one, we can kind of be like, hey, you want to come in for the second one? You might as well come back.
Oh, man, if he's in the universe now, they're going to play it, you know, however stretch they want to.
Yeah, right.
You know, but we still waiting on for them to come out with a decent Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That's still in the works or whatever, so, but, you know.
Yeah.
I done told some of my homies I done gave up on Fantastic Four.
I done gave up too. It's like when it gets to the point where it keeps getting delayed over and over again, it's kind of like, man, if it comes out, cool. If it don't, then I'm like...
Because if it do come out, it's going to be botched up, and I don't think nobody wants
that. I can't handle another botched Fantastic Four. I need them to do it right. Yeah. I need them to do it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Spider-Verse overall, it was solid. I don't think it's better than the first one. My opinion, not to say it's not a good movie. It's still a good movie. It's just, for me, that first half it was a bit slow. Yeah. And like I told you, that second half was fire. Yeah. It was fire. I was engaged. I was into it. The music is always dope. I love the music, the soundtrack. I'm excited to see where they go with this. I'm excited for all the Spider-Man. I feel like, and we talked about this, I feel like this is how you, in my opinion, do a Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Because the Tom Holland thing, I see what they were trying to do. But I feel like maybe if it was properly built up, because they kind of just went into the multiverse thing at the last one, so it wasn't really built properly. I mean, they had the multiverse and other stuff going on in you know, different shows, but I feel like with just trying to do the Spider-Verse thing, I don't think it was properly built up into that point. And then my whole thing, if you're gonna do a Spider-Verse, I want to see more Spider-Man versus just two, you know.
Right. I mean, like I said, I don't know where the movements were with that, because like I said, or like I've said in the past, whatever, with the second Spider-Man Tom Holland movie or whatever, they kind of hold us because they made us think like, okay, yeah, we really about to start getting into the multiverse now. Because hell, even with Doctor Strange, you had Multiverse of Madness. They had shit to do with
I don't know what
with the multiverse. In my opinion, they had shit to do with
I agree with you.
You know, because it's like, all right, you had a couple different Doctor Stranges or whatever, but all these niggas seem like they acted the same, and then it's just.
It was just a mess.
They ain't give a what wanted, but then too, I also have to remember it's two different sides of the MCU. You have the MCU, then you have Sony.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Sony got their own thing going on this side versus the MCU, whatever. Granted, you know, at some point they're intertwining or whatever, but it's two separate things going on.
Yeah. And because the Doctor Strange, I'm with you. It didn't have shit to do with. Multiverse, it kind of seemed like it was kind of its own hot mess of a movie, to be honest. That movie was all over the place. Yeah. So, but yeah, I just feel like if you're gonna do a Spider-Verse movie, it needs to be like I want to see crazy shit. You know, I
mean, that's what this movie is. We've seen some
crazy shit. I still feel like I want to see it a second time. I always judge movies off of if I want to go see it a second time. So it's definitely a good movie because I feel like I miss a lot of stuff. Because also I had my little cousin with me. He's sitting next to me asking for snacks and shit. I'm missing stuff. So I want to see it a second time and just see this different stuff. I mean, it was like a lot of shit going on. I mean, you got to make sure you looking both ways on the string.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lot of shit.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like at some point I did miss something, so I definitely wouldn't mind going. Well, I know I probably will go back and watch it again or whatever, just to see what I missed or whatnot. Because you know, the one thing with Marvel, they don't never just put anything in there for nothing.
Oh, no.
Everything has a reason why it's in there or whatever. So, you know, I definitely wouldn't mind sitting back down, watching that again, and breaking it down.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, I can get prepared for this one. Like, all right, boom, now I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What
Right, because even I wouldn't mind going to see the first one again, just because now looking at videos of, like, nerds talking about it, they were saying, like, there was even, like, subtle, like, 42s in some of the scenes.
I
just
said a lot of that.
Yeah. Right. And I just, me personally, I never paid attention to certain stuff, so it was like, wow. The writings was on the wall the whole time. Yeah. Like, just little subtle, like, Prowler stuff that there was a lot of evidence Miles was supposed to be the Prowler. It's just you didn't recognize it. Until it
happened. It was like, oh.
Right.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, you know, like how most movies do or whatever, they kind of telling you the path, like, oh, this person has this path, or they can take that path, whatever. But with this one here, it was just kind of subtle. Like, it was there, you didn't really notice it until it came to fruition. It was like, oh shit, like you was leading up to be Prowler.
Yeah, so it's crazy, man. And I'm wondering, so essentially, if he had not got bit, so that he would have had a Spider-Man in his universe, man.
Yeah, it would have been just
so damn. So that
Parker.
So that changes too. Yeah, man.
Universe.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. So had he not got bit, whatever, that Spider-Man still would have been alive.
Yeah.
And he would have just been a Prowler of that
universe. Yeah, and then him and Spider-Man would have been fighting back. Damn. Yeah. Man. Yeah. Right. Damn. Yeah. So, but I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. There was no cut scenes.
Yeah, no, there wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
No. Trust me, I waited.
Oh, yeah.
I waited.
My dad was like, well, he was like, yeah, there's no cut scenes, so we can. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm waiting. You know, you always gotta wait if you're a real nerd
fan. Marvel set the precedent when they had that cut scene. Hey, everybody can wait since
then. You always,
And sad thing for me, it even be for even non like superhero movies. I'd be sitting like,
I be still waiting because you just never know. Like you never know.
Yep, because I had just got through watching Top Gun Maverick, whatever. It was a great movie.
Oh yeah, I seen it.
It was a great movie.
Good movie.
So even after that, I was like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, but since we covered everything, go see it if you haven't seen it. If you are a fan of just the Marvel culture as a whole, go see it. If you're a fan of Miles Morales, Spider-Verse movies, I don't feel like you will be disappointed. Like I said, it started off a little slow for me, but honestly, the ending was great.
Yep.
Dope. Super dope. It's going to have you hyped. Probably going to be a little disappointed because how it ends, but just think of it as an Infinity War moment, and we're going to be back with Endgame come March.
That's what's going to be or whatever.
Right. So I think after this we doing Demon Slayer.
Yep.
And that will be a virtual episode, so I'm excited about that. Demon Slayer has been fire. I don't know if y'all have been watching that shit, but Demon Slayer has been fire.
It's been fire, but it's been annoying.
It's been annoying as hell. It has, because some of these episodes, like, y'all prolonging some of these fights now. Y'all could have, but, you know, I do appreciate, because it's like some of the fights, we are getting, like, backstory on some of the characters, which is pretty cool. I got to watch this last episode. I started today. I haven't finished, but yeah. We'll be back with a Demon Slayer episode next week.
Next week.
And, so you guys go see it. Flash just came out. We'll be doing a review on that soon. And thank y'all for tuning in. I'm your host, Shalon, and this is your co-host,
K1.
Yeah, and thank you guys for rocking with us. We'll be back on the next one.
All right, peace.
All right.
Yep. Oh, man.
Damn, that was a lot, man, pal.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.